welcome to Meet the Leaders. Always a pleasure to get out to Hartford to catch up with some of your legislators and find out what's been going on there. That's for sure. Had a little difficulty with the opening day because of the weather. The weather has not been easy. Representative Steve Walko of Greenwich, representing the 150th District and coming up from Greenwich, is quite a haul given the questionable weather.
I'm the unofficial longest drive of the legislature. Unofficially, I haven't confirmed that yet. But
one of the newest legislators with the longest drive. Well, right. That tests your mettle, no question about it, Steve.
It's good preparation for coming to the Capitol.
Well, you've had a year under your belt, not a full term, but a year under your belt. What do you feel you learned in the first long session that's going to stand you in even better stead going into this one?
Yeah, I think as a freshman, you need to get your sea legs underneath you. You know, it's very easy to just start talking right away. It's harder to actually pull back, listen, see where issues really unfold, where the best opportunity is to make an impact. I think that's what happens in a first session. Second session, you sort of have your sea legs underneath you. You're ready to go. You know the players, you know the issues, and you're ready to just go forward.
What crime issues are you particularly concerned with going into this one?
Well, I think for Greenwich's Shoreline, which is the district that I represent, certainly Metro North is a big issue. It's on-time availability, it's convenience, its timing, its safety record are all very important issues to the constituents.
Well, it's certainly important as far as the commercial as well as your individual constituents go, because if you can get people out here more easily, it's going to be more desirable from a commercial standpoint.
Without a doubt. So you have both the commuters leaving towns like Greenwich to go into New York City. But I was at a forum the other night in which it was alleged that Stamford actually has more commuters coming in than leaving.
Going out.
And so you have it both ways, and you have that commerce going both ways, and until we fix the problem, we really are going to have an issue.
Got big problems there, though. We spent billions of dollars on these beautiful new cars, and then the tough weather comes, and many of them have gone down. Then you throw in the infrastructure difficulties that they're facing, and the delays that people deal with on a daily basis. There's a lot of work to be done that hasn't been done in years and years.
You want to talk about, though, investments that will pay dividends in the future. This is the area that it will do that. These are not one-off building projects. These are long-sustained projects to increase that infrastructure and the reliability. You do that, and we will be in much better stead long-term. It'll attract more jobs to Connecticut, which thereby will help the economy. It will ensure that communities remain vibrant as suburban communities into New York City. There is no downside other than the cost, but I would argue that that's a long-term investment.
Well, all right, the cost. We're seeing a bit of a surplus in the state of Connecticut, depending on who you talk to. But this is going to be real money to rectify the difficulties on Metro North.
Without a doubt. And we've shown our commitment to places like UConn and forecasting, okay, what is the role of UConn and how will that help our job growth? We need to do the same with Metro North and our infrastructure. And it will take likely billions of dollars to fix this problem in terms of our infrastructure. That's what we have to look at. That's what we have to start planning for. We should have already been doing it, but now is the time to do that, to bring that viability back and that reliability back.
Looking at your national legislators, they are certainly well aware of the difficulties here. Do you all interface with each other? Because it's going to take that at least two-pronged approach, Hartford and Washington getting together to put that money in that's going to make the big difference.
Without a doubt. And I've been in communication most notably with Congressman Himes. He is well aware of the issues here. We have been communicating as to what's the best way. It's very easy for politicians especially to finger point. The Fed saying one thing, the state saying another, MTA saying another, Metro North, even other subsidiaries saying another. The bigger difficulty is how do you get everyone in the same room, not to point fingers, but to say, okay, we are where we are, how do we fix it? And I think that's really what we're trying to do at this point.
Well, and it's also moving those dispassionate people who aren't in Fairfield County or the metropolitan area out there in Iowa to understand that we've got problems here that affect the whole nation, even Iowa.
Well, but I would argue even they have their own problems with their infrastructure and their freight. Freight is a big deal in the West, and no one is saying that we're the only ones that need the money. Our freight system, our infrastructure for railways needs work. And so I think we can convince them, because I think we can make the argument that it really is the infrastructure of the United States.
It's all, and that means jobs. And that's what the nation and the state and certainly southwestern Connecticut need desperately.
Exactly.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Be interested to see how you're feeling after this session when you've got a whole one under your belt. Thanks so much for being with us.
All right, thank
Steve.
you for having me.
Good to see you.
All right.
Representative Steve Walko, our guest from Greenwich on this edition of Meet the Leaders, but wait, there's plenty more coming up. I'm David Smith. We'll be right back with it.